I'm logged in as an admin and I'm on the Documents tab, and I'm going to go ahead and click Add Fillable Document in the upper right hand corner. Right now I'm going to go through the whole process of adding a fillable document that has two people signing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Create a New One. That's going to open up a new browser screen. And now on this Documents dashboard, I'm going to go to the upper right hand corner here and I'm going to hit Upload in order to upload that PDF I've saved of the document that I want someone to fill out. In this case, it's just a demo document that's replicating a background authorization / consent form. So that's uploaded a PDF, and then now I have the field type panel pop out, and I can add all of these field types to the document in order to digitize the document. So first, this is going to be a text box here, so I'm simply selecting text on the right hand side, and I'm clicking on the screen, and I can use the little carrots to get this collapsed, and I can get that to go right where I want it to go, and that's where the text is going to go for the recipient, which is going to be an employee in this case who's going to fill that out. But as you can see, I can just align that. I can also use various font sizes. There's small, medium, and large, just in case I have a lot of text to fit in a certain amount of space. In this case, I'm just going to keep the text as a medium typeface size. And again, I'm just adding all the data points to this document in order for someone to fill out. In this case, that's going to be an employee. It could be a contract worker as well, of course. And so we have that information. And then now this is down here, a signature. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm selecting on the right hand side, the signature field type is what I want to add to the document. And then I'm just clicking on the document where I want that to go. And I really like to collapse it so that I can really move it to get it right where I want it to go. And then I'm adding another signature. This one will be for the employer. And then I'm going to add 2 dates. Those could also be text boxes, of course, but so I'm going to do the date here, and I'll do a date. Again, I'm changing the typeface size here, and we can preview. Nothing has been signed yet, of course. And then I also see right here there's a checkbox that needs to be potentially filled out in some scenarios, so it's optional text box. So in this case, all of these data points up here, up until right here, are all signed by the employee. So I can just keep those the same. What I'm going to do for the second signer in our workflow, in this example, and in many cases it's an employer's signature, is I'm going to open up those field types that the employer is going to be the one filling out and or signing. And right where you see the light colored text that says party, I'm going to put 2 here. So it's defaulted to 1. You don't have to add 1 for any of the ones that are just being filled out by the first person in the workflow. But when I want to designate that the second person fills out those, that's when I'm adding a 2 there in that field. So this date right here is also filled out by the employer. So I'm going to hit the caret to expand that. And then I'm going to hit 2 for the party there as well. So note, just to look at it, the difference here, if I expand this, this is going to the first person in the workflow, which in this example is an employee. The party, I could put a 1 there, but I don't need to, but I don't want a 2 there because this is for the employee, the first person to fill out. So if there was many different things on the document for the employer to fill out, I would just have all those field types have a 2 in the party field designated as in 2 as in the second person to sign / fill out those data points. So now that I have all the field types added to the template I really want to use in the platform, I'm going to scroll down on the right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and hit create document, create template from document, and then I can rename the template if I need to, and I'm going to make it company wide, which is what public means. I'm going to simply select create template, and now that template has been created. So now I need to hop back over to the other screen that I had where I was adding that fillable document. And remember, you just have to refresh at this stage, so I can hit the little refresh button here. That makes it easy for me to refresh. And now when I refresh, it will recognize the template we just added, which was this confidential background check authorization. And now I'm going to choose which workers it could potentially display to, meaning in this case, this is for employees. I'm not having my independent contractors in this made up scenario authorize a background check. It's going to go to my employees, so I want it to go to employees. Let's zoom in here. And then I do want them to sign off on it. So of course I want it visible and e-signature required. And then the notifications, as a reminder, this is when you want it to be also sent to all existing active workers in the system with the selected roles. So that would mean in this case, we've selected it for employees. If I keep this checked, this would automatically be sent to all existing active employees in the system for them to sign and fill out. It would also send them a one-time mass email notification to let them know that they have a document awaiting their review and signature. In this case, I'm pretending that I only want to send it to employees in the future. Therefore, I don't want it to go to any existing active worker. So maybe this is a new updated form and everybody in the past has already filled this out. So I'm going to deselect that option, and then I'm going to also, very importantly, check this admin review required. This is an example of where that second signer, an admin, an employer admin, is going to sign off on this document. So I do want to select this. If you were sending a document that did not have a second signer, did not have that admin signing off on it, you would not select this option. So again, just to recap, in this case, I don't want it to go to any existing active workers, so I've actually deselected that, and I do have a second person involved with the document, and that's what this means here. So because I remember I added those twos to the field types where the employer is signing off, I'm going to signify that here as well. The next step is to go ahead and hit the Add Document button, and now I've added that document to the system. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that would look like. I'm going to head over to the Dashboard tab, and I'm going to go ahead and invite an employee. I'm choosing employee from the drop-down. I'm doing their hire date, which is optional. I'll select a template that I already have in the system to send them a customized email. And then I am now able to select the forms and documents I want them to receive. In this case, I do want to showcase what it looks like to see that confidential background check authorization that they're going to fill out, and then the employer is going to sign after they fill it out. So I'm going to go ahead and, in this case, hit send invite, and let's take a look at what that looks like on the receiving end for that employee in this example. In our example, I've sent the employee the invite to fill out their onboarding paperwork. They're going to receive the email, and they're going to get the link that they can click through on that email. They're going to set their password because they do need to create an account, and they're going to agree to the terms and conditions, and then we will proceed and watch them fill out their paperwork at this point. Now we're to the point in the process where we're at the documents that the employer or the bureau has added on behalf of that employer that the employee in this case needs to review. So first there was a handbook that we decided to send to them, and next we are guided to, it takes a second to load, we're guided to that background check authorization for them to fill out. So as you can see, they can click on that signature in order to sign, and then they can fill in the date as well. But nothing else is there for them to sign because we know that the employer is going to be the second signer as we indicated when we created this template. So they're going to also hit approve and sign at the bottom, and then they'll be guided through the rest of the workflow. But let's take a look at what it would look like once they went through the rest of that workflow, what it would look like for the employer to now sign off as the second signer on that document. As an employer admin, also called an end client admin, I'm now able to log in and go to my action required tab. Now I would have received an email letting me know that that person had submitted their paperwork, but at any point in time I can also just go to the action required tab to see any of the pending items I need to do. So in this case, one of the things I need to do is to review that document and give it the second signature it's awaiting. So I'm going to go ahead under Documents to Review, which is where those can be found. I'm going to go ahead and click Sign on the right hand side. Now that's going to pull up, in this case it was our confidential background check authorization form, so it's pulling that up for me to sign. It has the employees information on it, and now as the employer I can sign off on that as the second signer. So I'm simply clicking that, and then in this case it also required a date, so I'm going to add the date as well. And then I also scroll down and hit Approve and Sign, and now that document has been completed successfully. So what I could do there as well is go to that employee just to show what that would look like. Here was that confidential background check authorization on the right hand side, and I can download that. So just to showcase what that looks like real quick, we're going to bring up that document which had, the employee filled out the top part, and then we have the employer sign off on that, which happens commonly. So that's what that looks like now that that's finished. If you forget the status of that, again, you can see that right on that worker's profile, and you can see here it's been completed now as well. Another question we commonly get is, well, what admin needs to sign off on it? Any of the admins can sign off on that document when it's pending that second signer to fill it out.